So guys, today is Monday and we are expecting kuti team SADC ringe riri muno muZimbabwe. We all know that there is a dispute after the 23rd of August elections in Zimbabwe, which were not endorsed by SADC, which were not endorsed by EU, by AU, by United Nations. All the continental bodies didn't endorse this election except Vashoma Shoma. I believe that from all the missions which came to Zimbabwe, only Palestine endorsed the elections in Zimbabwe. Vamwe vese vataura kuti hakuna zvaiitwa. So a lot of people are asking, what should happen now? Why is Nelson Chamisa quiet? What is the next plan? We are seeing the Tshavangus, we are seeing the allegations against BT, against Professor Ncube. What does all this mean? And I have an answer for you. The reason why ZANU PF is doing this and is fast-tracking this, they want Nelson Chamisa to lose control of Triple C. What happens when Nelson Chamisa loses control of Triple C and it is legalized by the courts to say Nelson Chamisa is no longer the official leader of Triple C? What happens next is when SADC comes here, ZANU PF will try to use the elders to say Nelson Chamisa does not have an authentic political organization. Secondly, they will say Nelson Chamisa himself is not a Democrat. Is not a constitutionalist. They will say all sorts of things against Nelson Chamisa. And they will say he's failing to govern his own party. That is the reason why he failed. So those will be the defense of ZANU PF when the elders come here to deal with these matters. And you see the people of like Tshavangu and the other comrades who have been hiding, you start to see them emerging from the woods, and they will come and they will try to portray themselves as the leaders. They will try to present themselves as the leaders. Right now, they have decimated the opposition. We have seen recalls, and almost all key MPs of Nelson Chamisa have been recalled. We are seeing by-elections on the 9th of December, the nomination court set, and everything which is happening right now, it points out that there is a systematic organization which is happening where they are trying by all means possible to annihilate Nelson Chamisa before SADC comes and tries to deal with this matter. So if there are negotiations, this is what is going to happen. ZANU PF will say Triple C has splitted. The other people will say Nelson Chamisa was the leader of the opposition, the Triple C party, but is no longer part of that Triple C. And they will say so he can come in as the presidential candidate representing himself. And they will say the party has splitted, or the party now has new leadership, and they will bring out the new leadership, and say this is the leadership. That is where you see Tshavangu and his handlers coming in onto the picture publicly. When they come into the picture, then you see ZANU PF seated there, Triple CA seated there, Triple C Chamisa seated there. So it will be an issue of trying to say, when Nelson Chamisa says no, that party, Triple C, the bogus Triple C, will say yes. When Nelson Chamisa said no, we cannot do A, B, C, D, that party will say no, we have to do A, B, C, D. So when Nelson Chamisa said yes, they will say no. It will be an issue of trying to stand with the ZANU PF. Here is the proof. Tshavangu was on a certain platform where he was talking about the issues of Gukurahundi. He publicly said that ZANU PF cannot be blamed for Gukurahundi atrocities. He said it was the state, not ZANU PF. He actually distances ZANU PF from the atrocities, and it's something which is shocking from the people, the Matabele people. They are actually shocked by such a revelation. He's blaming the 5th Brigade, but the question is, who was the leader of all those things? Who was giving commands and orders for those things to happen? We have the Minister of State Security. Who is that Minister of State Security? He was part of the ZANU PF leadership. We have all people who were part of the leadership of ZANU PF. They tried by all means possible to decimate ZAPU, and they won. And that is the reason why we no longer have ZAPU. We ended up having that bogus unit accord in between Robert Mugabe of ZANU PF and Joshua Ngomo of PF ZAPU. And for Savanhu to say something like it was not ZANU PF, it's him not being honest. If it was about the state, there was no need for the merge of ZANU PF and PF ZAPU. But because it's ZANU PF which was destroying the other opposition. Then, so the question is, why is Tshavangu trying to deassociate ZANU PF from its evil tactics? He was trying to defend his masters, to say they are not part of the people who are destroying the opposition right now. They were not part of the people who destroyed the opposition in the past. Those are the justifications of Tshavangu. So I do not waste much of your time. I have told you from my own observations, ZANU PF, what they are trying to do is to weaken Nelson Chamisa. When SADC comes, they will present a divided opposition. They will present two fronts of Triple C. One, the faction of Tshavangu's and his handlers. One, the faction of Nelson Chamisa, and the other, loyalists. Then, if they manage to do so, it is going to likely cause a divided opinion over the situation in Zimbabwe, where you are going to have another grouping said, we didn't win the election, we lost the election. You will see the Tshavangus saying so, and you will have another grouping saying we won the election, we were rigged. So that will be contradiction on its own. The question is SADC so gullible to an extent equity they will fail to understand that Tshavangu is an imposter, is somebody who just emerged and said Ndatopo Yangasipo. So it is what it is in Zimbabwe. My name is Ronald.